There was a time when one man seemed destined to rule the world of football.
Calibrato, Adri, colpo di testa, e gol, 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 l'imperatore!
He had the strength of a bull, the touch of a magician, and a left foot that could silence entire stadiums. His name was Adriano Leite Ribeiro. Born on February 17, 1982, in Vila Cruzeiro, one of Rio de Janeiro's most dangerous favelas. In a place where survival was a daily fight, Adriano's dream was simple: to play football, to escape poverty, to give his family a better life. He grew up chasing a ball made of rags through narrow alleys. Every wall was a goalpost. Every shout from the street was the roar of an imagined crowd. His father, Almir Ribeiro, worked hard and believed his son could become something more. He was Adriano's first coach and his greatest fan. By the age of 13, Adriano's power was already frightening defenders twice his size. His left foot, raw, wild, unstoppable, could send a ball flying through anything in its path. It didn't take long before Flamengo, one of Brazil's biggest clubs, noticed the boy from Vila Cruzeiro. At 17, he joined Flamengo's senior team. For his family, it felt like victory over fate itself. And for Adriano, it was just the beginning. In 2001, European scouts circled Brazil like hawks, looking for the next Ronaldo. They found him in Adriano. That same year, Inter Milan signed the 19-year-old Brazilian for a fee that shocked the football world. It was a dream come true, but also the start of a test he wasn't prepared for. Italy was different. Cold weather, a new language, strange food, and endless expectations. He was young, far from home, yet every reporter already called him the next phenomenon. At Inter Milan, he trained beside legends: Christian Vieri, Recoba, Zanetti. He listened more than he spoke. Every goal in training was another reminder that the kid from Rio had truly made it. But as all great stories go, the start wasn't easy. Inter loaned him out to Fiorentina, then to Parma. And that's where Adriano began to show the world exactly who he was. August 2002, Parma versus Udinese. A free kick from 35 meters out. Adriano stepped up and thundered the ball past the keeper. The net shook like it had been hit by lightning. The crowd gasped. And in that moment, Italy met the Emperor. During his time at Parma, Adriano scored 14 goals in just over a season. Raw power, explosive speed, unstoppable confidence. He wasn't just scoring, he was scaring goalkeepers. It didn't take long before Inter Milan called him back. This time he was no longer a teenager learning his place. He was the future. When he returned to Inter in 2004, the timing was perfect. Ronaldo had left for Real Madrid, Vieri was aging, and the club needed a hero. Adriano became that hero, almost instantly. In the 2004 Copa America, wearing the Brazil jersey, he played like a man possessed. Against Argentina, in the final seconds of the match, Brazil trailed 2-1. The ball dropped into the box. Adriano turned. One strike, and the net exploded. Brazil equalized. He fell to his knees. The crowd roared. Brazil won the title on penalties, and a new legend was born. They called him the Emperor, because on the field, he ruled with a power that felt divine. Every goal celebration, arms wide, head raised, looked like a king greeting his people.
A rivalidade é tão grande, amigo, que o Ricardo Oliveira saiu lá do banco de reserva do Brasil e veio aqui provocar briga com o banco de reserva da Argentina.
At Inter Milan, he became unstoppable. From 2004 to 2005, he scored 30 goals in a single season. He bulldozed defenders, curled free kicks like poetry, and celebrated with a smile that could light up the San Siro. Nike made him their star. EA Sports put him on the cover of FIFA. His overall rating, 99 shot power, was no exaggeration. To fans, Adriano was living the dream. Money, fame, power, goals. But behind that smile, something darker was waiting. In 2004, during his rise at Inter, he received a phone call from Brazil.
Adriano, me desculpa, irmão. Your pai, he's gone.
It was his family. His father, Almir Ribeiro, the man who had pushed him, protected him, and believed in him, had died of a sudden heart attack. Adriano was 22. He collapsed in tears. Teammates said they heard his scream echo through the halls of the hotel. From that moment, everything began to change. Adriano played on, but he wasn't the same. He still scored goals, but his joy was gone. The Emperor's crown suddenly felt heavier. Inter Milan noticed. The coaches tried to help. His teammates, like Javier Zanetti, stood by him. But grief is not an opponent you can outrun. Reporters called it a dip in form. Fans said he looked tired. But inside, Adriano was breaking, silently. By 2006, rumors began to spread. Missed training, late nights, loneliness in a foreign land. But for those who knew him, it wasn't rebellion, it was pain. Adriano had everything the world could offer, except the one thing he had lost, his father. And in losing him, he lost the will to be the Emperor. 2006. Inter Milan, a team on the rise. But behind the dressing room doors, the laughter had faded. Adriano wasn't the same man anymore. He stopped smiling in training. He stopped celebrating goals. Reporters began to whisper, he's losing focus. But few understood what was really happening inside him. Adriano tried to keep going. He played for his father's memory. But each match felt heavier, each interview more exhausting. When he looked into the stands, he no longer saw a crowd. He saw the one face that was missing. He turned to parties, to alcohol, to friends who told him it would ease the pain. But pain doesn't fade when you drink it away. It waits for you when the music stops. By 2007, Inter's patience was wearing thin. Coaches tried to help. Teammates begged him to focus. But Adriano's heart was still back in Rio. He began missing training sessions entirely. His weight fluctuated. And slowly, the Emperor began to disappear. The media devoured the story. They called him lazy. They said fame had gone to his head. But no one saw the truth. That the boy from Villa Cruzeiro had become trapped in a storm of grief, fame, and isolation. In 2008, Inter decided to loan him back to Brazil, to Sao Paulo FC. They hoped being home would heal him. And for a brief moment, it seemed to work. He smiled again. He scored again. For a few weeks, the old Adriano returned, fierce, joyful, unstoppable. He lifted his arms to the crowd, and for the first time in years, he looked free. But it didn't last. He struggled to stay disciplined, missed team meetings, arrived late to training. The same ghosts had followed him home. When Inter Milan finally released him in 2009, it wasn't out of anger, it was mercy. They had seen him fight battles they couldn't help him win. He returned to Flamengo, to the club where it all began. Rio welcomed him like a lost son. The fans forgave him instantly. And for a short while, Adriano looked reborn. He led Flamengo to the 2009 Brazilian Championship, their first in 17 years. He scored 19 goals. He smiled again. And when he lifted that trophy, the stadium roared so loud it felt like the entire favela was celebrating with him. That season, it felt like redemption. The emperor had returned to his throne, but deep down, the cracks remained. After the celebrations ended, he vanished from training for days. Rumors of depression resurfaced, and once again, the darkness crept in. By 2010, he left Flamengo for Roma. It was supposed to be his comeback to Europe, but the magic was gone. He struggled with form, fitness, and the weight of his past. He barely lasted a season. Then came Corinthians, Atletico Paranaense, even a short stint in the United States, but none of it worked. Each attempt felt like chasing a shadow, the version of himself he could never reach again. By 2016, the headlines stopped calling him a star. They called him a fallen king. But in Brazil, the people never turned their backs. They still called him O Imperador, because they remembered who he once was and what he gave them. Today, Adriano lives quietly in Rio, far from the stadiums, far from the noise. He rarely gives interviews. He rarely leaves his neighborhood. When he does speak, he talks about his father, about the love that built him and the pain that broke him. He once said, "I played football because of my father. When he died, so did a part of me." Yet even in his silence, his story speaks louder than words. Because Adriano's rise and fall wasn't about talent lost. It was about how human pain can hide beneath divine power. He taught us that greatness isn't just measured by trophies, but by the battles we fight within ourselves. And somewhere, in the streets of Villa Cruzeiro, a young boy kicks a ball and dreams of being like Adriano. Maybe that is the Emperor's true legacy.